Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Project 10 Uses update. I'm very excited because I have quite a number of things rolling out. This project replaced Pando's eyeshadows for me, so I have 3 eyeshadow products and 4 other products. Last month I whole collection roulette style pulled in new things, and this time I chose some things myself. So I just like to switch it up occasionally, but let me not ramble on too long and let's hop right into it. I'm going to go in order of products that have been in here the longest down to what I rolled in last time. So starting off with my Colourpop Fluffie Creme Gel Liner. This is just a baby pink shade. I used this 3 more times since the last update for reaching my 10 use goal. My hair is frizzy because I just got out of the shower and didn't put any product in it. I like this with certain looks, like pink, red looks. This looks really great. If I pair it with a more neutral look, it kind of looks like I have an eye irritation going on. So I do need to keep that in mind, but it's the only color like this that I have in my collection. It is brightening with those specific eye looks, and I'm happy to have it in my collection. One of my randomized shades, so I have 2 in this project. One came from my Kaleidos Club Nebula palette. It was the shade Samus, which is the matte peach. I needed to use this 4 more times since the last update in order to roll it out, and I have done that. I also played with quite a number of the other shades, mostly this bottom row, and I think the purple and this multi-chromey purple situation over here while I had this palette out. So that's something I'm trying to do more this year, and why Pando's eyeshadows wasn't really working for me is I don't like to just use one shade. So I'm happy this got some more love. We have kind of a dip going on over here, which is nice, but I am ready to put this away and randomly generate a new shade to use 10 times. I've only used my M Cosmetics highlighter in Peach Silk 1 additional time since the last update. I have a couple highlighters I'm really trying to hit pan on, so this has not been a priority, though it is absolutely beautiful. I rolled it into this project after hearing Geek talk about it in underrated makeup, and I agree. It's underrated in my collection too. I just love it so much, or it's underutilized I should say, but I'm at 6 out of 10 uses for this guy. I needed to use my Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in the shade Petal Glow 3 more times to meet my 10 use goal. I have done that, and I still don't really like this product, you guys. In my last update I went on and on about this, and it's just so high maintenance, and I don't like the process of applying it, if that makes sense. If you want to hear me rant about it, check out my last update, but my thoughts have remained the same. I don't want to rant on any longer, but I was happy to remove the other shades that had my eye off my Sephora's loves list, so that was good to do as well. I'm going to keep this. I like the finished effect, if that makes sense, but it's just really high maintenance in my opinion. The cat is sitting and staring at the opposite corner of my basement. Just up like this. Kind of creepy. Okay. The other randomized eyeshadow I got is from my Luster Charm palette from Alter Ego. I do have an affiliate code with Alter Ego. It is emilynmax. I love their palettes so much. The shade I pulled was Rare, this beautiful deep warm brown shade. I do have this on my outer corners today, and I've been using some of the other shades in this palette as well. This is duping the Divine Rose, and I think this is just so beautiful, but I have only used it 1 time since the last update, which was today, bringing me up to 3 out of 10 uses. I will prioritize this a bit more in the coming month. We're now on to the items I pulled in last month. Like I said, I did it roulette style. So I got the Makeup Geek Cherish blush. I almost said goal. Let's use it 10 times. Of course it is. I've used this twice this past month. It's just a beautiful neutral pink. I like using this if I go a little overboard with blush. Maybe could have used it today, but I kind of love how much blush I put on today. Blush and eyeshadow are probably my favorite makeup products at the moment. That's irrelevant. I have a lot more use to go on this, but I'm happy to get use out of it. I'm also happy to just have my Makeup Geek singles upstairs because these have been severely neglected. The palette that randomly got pulled in is my Alter Ego Goddess palette, and I have used this twice as well. I'm so excited to use this. I'm working on a lot of eyeshadow, and so far I feel like I've been pretty decent at getting a few uses on everything and not just like narrowing in on one specific thing. But this palette is duping the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and I love this color story so much. So I am really looking forward to getting more use out of this. Okay, in preparation for this video, I didn't want it to be too long. I feel like I'm going along at a pretty good pace so far. I randomly generated my eyeshadow already, the one that is replacing my Club Nebula. I screen recorded. I got 1513, I believe, and that comes from my Odin's Eye Norns palette. Now this was in the very first, like the introduction of this project, which really wasn't that long ago, so I was tempted to re-roll, but I was like, you know what? It's been quite a number of months since I've been using this, so it's okay to be rolled in again, though I do have a lot of other palettes. I had already written it down on my paper. I wasn't going to re-roll at that point. So here's Odin's Eye Norns, but before it was in for 10 uses just in general. This time it's 10 uses on a specific shade, and that shade is Amber Place. I have not looked at what that is yet. Ooh, it's one I feel like I haven't reached for a ton. Let's swatch this. Hello, Domino. It's one of those like marbled looking gold shades. It is like a yellowy gold with like almost like silver sparkle in it. Okay, that is really beautiful. I'm excited to get 10 uses on that. I think that will be really versatile. I think this will go with the gold palette really well. And then in my Luster Charm palette, it's just a warm dark brown. And I'll be happy to have this out. Though when I open this, it's immediately like, oh, this is a winter palette. But I love Pink Chameleon. I think these mauve tones could be really pretty. This red could go with other things I'm panning. And like this bottom row, I just think is so beautiful no matter the time of year. I feel like maybe it's these like deeper, more matte shades that make me feel like it's wintry, or like the color of the actual palette itself, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I am just happy to be getting more use out of this. It's not going neglected. Odin's Eye has one of my very favorite eyeshadow formulas ever, and I want to not neglect my palettes. So that is my random eyeshadow choice. To replace my Makeup by Mario product, this was out of my makeup drawer of shame. I have a pile of lip products I really need to get on using, so I pulled another one out. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler Gloss Mini in the shade Bitten. I just thought that this kind of like cherry red looking shade would be really beautiful in the summer, and I've been dying to try this formula. I now have 4 minis. That is what the shade Bitten looks like. Yeah, kind of like a cherry shade, maybe a little more pinky than red, but I'm looking forward to finally testing this formula, and I hope I love it because I have so many. And then to replace my fluffy eyeliner, I actually chose a concealer. I feel like I've been working on the same concealer all year and just very rarely shopping my stash for concealers. So I want to pull in my Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer in the shade Fair 20N. I feel like a lot of my concealers are very light. It's almost like oh boy. Nope, we're not doing that. I can't even see my concealers and I have a ton of stuff on my lap. Okay, so I've been doing some swatching over here. As you can see, most of my concealers are very light. I feel like I get in the mood to try a new concealer when I'm at my fairest. All these look very light. However, I haven't really used my e.l.f. Camo concealer with the matte finish all that much. I have the shade Light Sand, which is light, but it's matte, so I feel like it's going to dry down a little bit darker, and it's also much more yellow than these other ones, which I feel like my yellow undertones come through a bit more when I get more color to my skin. So this is going to be kind of like a chopping block. I'm going to use these 10 uses to determine if I could possibly stand to pan this at some point. It's full. I've used it like probably 3 times max. And I remember not really liking it. And I'm kind of at the point that I don't want to hate pan something unless it's for like the Joker in Deck of Panning. But I have a lot of concealers that I have pretty negative opinions about, and I'm just like, I don't know why they're still here. So let's get through some of those. This is like the darkest one that I have in that vein. So this is what we're going with. We're doing a concealer for 10 uses. For next update, my priority is going to be to use my Cosmetics highlighter 4 more times in order to roll this out. I think that would be a really good option to get out of here. And then the eyeshadow I'm closest on, it would still be 7 more uses, but if I really focused, I think I could. The Luster Charm palette, because it's that deep warm brown, I feel like that's very versatile if I can just remember to reach for it. When it is a not unique shade that gets rolled in, I find it almost harder to use, because when I open up a different palette and I'm reaching for a brown, if it's in the palette I reached for first, I don't think to not use that one and pull out a whole separate palette for the one shade that's already in the palette I was already using. Does that make any sense? I should, and for videos like this and rotating through my collection a bit more, but I will try and make this a priority for next time. But that is going to be it for my project 10 uses update. Thank you. Jesus, Domino, you scared me. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!